Hi, my name is Jeff Belts, and this is a video that hopefully helps out people located in the North Texas area when the Great Texas Warrant Roundup takes place, which is normally the months of February, March, and early April, where cities are promoting and advertising the arrest of people who have outstanding tickets in their court. What we're seeing is that a lot of people are being taken advantage of by this promotion and not understanding that by going in and paying off their warrants that they're actually causing more harm than good to themselves. And these cities they don't care one way or the other what the effect is to you, as long as the bottom line is they bring in money for the city. And so the title of this is Avoid the Fear Factor during the Great Warrant Roundup for North Texas. And so the main question is, well, what's the issue? I mean, I have a warrant out for my arrest. I need to take care of it. And that's exactly what the promotion is meant to do. It's meant to provoke fear in you so that you run down to the court and pay these tickets off to avoid getting arrested. And normally what these cities do is they take a small sampling, really. They only arrest one or two, maybe 3 or 4 people, or they may spend one day on actually arresting people, and then they promote it through the TV and radio stations to make it sound like they're coming out to get everybody. When in actuality, it's maybe less than 1% of the people that have outstanding tickets in their court. And so this provokes fear, and that fear gets people into the court to pay off the tickets. But what they're not telling people are the results of paying off tickets, and that's what we want to address here. The only people that benefit from you paying off tickets that are in warrant it's the court system. That's the only entity that actually benefits from that. You don't actually benefit as much as you think you do, other than to avoid getting arrested, which is such a small part of what happens in the ticket business nowadays that it shouldn't be your first concern, really. And the reason why are these 3 subcategories that you see right here: convictions, surcharges, and license suspensions. What these courts aren't telling you is that when you go in to pay off a ticket, that's an automatic admission of guilt, and that guilt has to be reported as a conviction on your permanent record and reported to the Department of Public Safety. Once it's reported to the Department of Public Safety, they have some pretty nasty penalties that they can issue against you. Okay, so let's see how it works. The convictions. Convictions are permanent. Once it's reported as a conviction, once you pay off that warrant and it's reported as a conviction, it doesn't go away. It will always be on your driving record up until the day of death. I mean, it will never go away. Now, points are added to for every moving violation that you get on your record. Now they have a 3-year kind of statute of limitations. They stay on your record for 3 years. You get too many convictions, and that can cause surcharges and suspension issues. Now, what's a surcharge? DPS has a system that keeps track of all of your tickets. So let's say that you get a no insurance ticket that goes into warrant. You get the Great Warrant Roundup letter that says, "We're coming to get you," and you freak out and you run down to the court and you pay it off. Well, as soon as you do that, that court will report that to DPS, and DPS will charge you a penalty of $780 that's payable over 3 years. So not only did you have to pay the ticket, but now you've got to pay an additional $780 over 3 years, or your license will automatically be suspended. That's the same for a no driver's license ticket. And let's say that you have a batch of tickets, 2 or 3 that you're paying off at one time. If those are moving violations, each one is anywhere from 2 to 3 points. So you pay off, let's say, 2 serious moving violations, 2 speeding tickets that have a high speed. Next thing you know, you're paying DPS an additional $450 on top of what you've already paid to the court for 3 years, because the court reported them as convictions on your record. Every additional point over the 6 points is extra money, and too many points can cause an automatic suspension of your driver's license. So let's talk about license suspensions. No insurance tickets, automatic suspension until you provide DPS with proof of insurance, usually SR22, which is a high risk. It costs more money to get that type of insurance. It's prepaid. So you pay the $780, you pay the additional fee for the insurance, which is usually $1,080 over 3 years. And if you don't do that, then your license is suspended indefinitely. It can be forever until you take care of it. Same thing for no driver's license. It's an indefinite suspension until you actually get one. Driving while license invalid. Let's say that your license is invalid. You get a warrant notice and they say we're going to come get you, and it's just a seat belt. Well, you go pay that off. Because you paid off a ticket while your license was invalid, it's an automatic 1-year suspension. The only thing I can do for you at that point is get you an occupational license, which is normally about a $1,000 fee to do that. If you get too many points, let's say you have 2 or 3 tickets that you pay off at one time to avoid arrest, all those points are reported at the same time. That too many points can get you an automatic annual suspension. Then you're coming to me for an occupational license. Now, surcharges still apply along with the driver's license reinstatement fees that you have to pay when you have a suspension issue. So, you're talking about over a 3-year period, usually the average fee when someone gets hit with a no insurance that they just go down and pay can be as high as almost $2,400 over a 3-year period. Now, I can tell you I'm not going to charge you $2,400 to take care of a ticket. So it's in your best interest to think about what you need to do in order to take care, make good financial decisions for yourself. Don't panic and run down there and think that you're doing the best thing by paying the ticket off. That is not the best thing for you. You need to get help. Once a warrant takes effect, you're going to have to pay an attorney to help take care of it for you. And if you look at the blog that I posted on this below, I've broken down the fees that most attorneys can save you. And again, an attorney's only going to charge you maybe $100 per warrant, $150 per warrant, depending on how fast you want it done and what court it's in. And that $150 spent may end up saving you as much as $2,400 over the course of 3 years. So it's a sound financial investment to hire a lawyer when you have warrants out for your arrest. Again, because an attorney, what they can do is they save you the convictions. You don't get convictions normally when an attorney is hired, as long as you follow the steps that they tell you to once they get the warrant lifted. They can help you avoid surcharges, that $780 that we talked about earlier. They can help you avoid suspension issues, which is really big, because if you do get a suspended license, not only are you paying the surcharges, not only are you dealing with the convictions, but you're also having to pay for an occupational license just to drive legally, or you could be subject to arrest. And so there's a huge savings compared to the cost of hiring a lawyer when you're dealing with running down to the court and just paying them off. Again, the only people that benefit from paying off warrants directly to the court is the court system. So you don't want to do that. Again, the purpose of this is to help you understand that panicking during Great Warrant Roundup and running down to the court system is not the way to do this. You need to make sound financial decisions based on facts and logic and not fear and panic. These courts are hoping that you act out of fear and panic, and they're hoping that you rush in and pay these tickets off, and they don't care what happens to you after that. They don't care about your convictions and more money you have to pay to DPS and suspension issues. All they want is their money. So again, don't do that. There's people out there that can help you, and one of those people is us. We're the Belts Law Firm, and we help people with warrants all the time. We help people with suspension issues all the time. We help people with convictions and pretty much anything traffic related that you can think of. So when you need help and you get that Great Texas Warrant Roundup letter and you're looking to make the best decision for you, give us a call. We would be glad to help you.